Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Steve Breach coming to you here today. We're sitting here talking about the upcoming WWE's big Monday Night Raw show tomorrow night. This is going to be, honestly, a really big one. Not only do you have a big championship match with Dean Ambrose taking on Seth Rollins, but the big SmackDown Live draft is coming up tomorrow night well, it wouldn't be tomorrow night, the next night after Raw on Tuesday, which I'm guessing that is going to be set a lot like the 2002 draft back in the day. I've heard there's going to be a pre-show. I've heard there's going to be a post-show. My guess is that more than likely, a lot like the 2002 draft, we're going to see, maybe 12 rounds, 24 guys drafted, probably a lot of things going on. I know there's always talk of teams being split up, like my guess would be Enzo and Kaz beginning the split, but I'm guessing that on the show you'll actually see tag teams drafted. Who's the tag champs right now? I guess that would be New Day. So I guess New Day would be selected as a team, a lot like how the NWO was selected by SmackDown in the 2002 draft. Basically, the whole hardcore division was drafted by Vince McMahon to Monday Night Raw. There was a lot of stipulations that went along with the draft that made it, flow a little bit easier. There's been lots of talks of there's going to be 6 people from NXT, or 6 picks selected from NXT. Finn Balor, Shinsuke Nakamura, Bayley, as well as Nia Jax seem to be the locks from NXT to get moved up. Nakamura and Balor being moved up to the main roster, to me, easily 2 of the best wrestlers in the company, let alone in the entire world. Finn Balor, who's been in NXT for... When did he sign to go to NXT? When did he make his debut? I can't remember if he's been there for a year. He might even have been there for 2 years, but it seems like we've been hearing rumors of Balor being moved up to the main roster, honestly, for a long time. He sort of shot those rumors down, basically saying that, he's fine where he is. He wants to be the man of NXT. He was the champion. He carried the belt for a long time. Him moving up to the main roster, I've heard that he has a main roster deal, even though he wrestles in NXT. I think he's done everything that he can do for that brand, and that brand is going to continue to grow. I know that it really has been gutted over the last while with, Sami Zayn, as well as Kevin Owens, being taken out of there. The whole women's division got moved up last summer with Charlotte, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch all being moved up all at the same time. We've seen that NXT is able to take some hits and able to keep on moving. I think right now, even with Balor and Nakamura there, it's probably the weakest roster that they've had in quite a while. But they're still going strong. People are still watching week in and week out, and they can't wait for those those NXT TakeOver specials to come up. So I don't think that even with these 6 picks, even if they take Samoa Joe, even if he is the champion, they'll figure out some way to keep using him, or come up with a tournament, make a new star, and we'll be all right. But I don't know. Honestly, when it comes down to it, I've been trying to come up with a day where I was going to make a video where basically I talked about, the draft and tried to make my own picks of if I was the GM, what I would do. And I never really was able to make that video just because I never really had the time. And I know that they had that thing on WWE.com where you could basically run your own mock draft like you were running a fantasy football league or something like that, and it would have been fun, but it never got done. And at the end of the day, I think everybody's watched my video from yesterday. Anybody is going to watch it, and I really do like the overwhelming response that the video got, whether if it was people actually texting me that I know in real life, or whether if it was people sending me direct messages, or people contacting me on Twitter or on Facebook. That stuff means a lot. And these are people that I've made connections with from 2010 until now, and I really appreciate it. And like I said in the video, even though people commented saying that I was taking a break or I was not going to make videos anymore, I'm still going to make videos. I still need to have this outlet to talk about wrestling, and I don't want to store all that stuff up and not really have anybody to talk to about it, because I'm not expecting to meet somebody that knows anything about wrestling or anything like that. So I don't know. When it comes down to it, I don't understand how you can have a draft and you're drafting the main roster and splitting it up, and why you wouldn't want number one's draft pick to be the actual champion that has the belt at the time. I understand that you want to protect Roman Reigns, even though he can't be a part of the show due to his suspension. John Cena, to me, would be the easiest number one to go with, but Dean Ambrose is the guy who's the champion right now, and you don't want to weaken that championship like you've done so many times in the past when you've had the champion not even be the main event of shows, like when CM Punk held the title, and you still had John Cena main eventing pay-per-views against matches against the Big Show or against John Laurinaitis, things like that, matches that really didn't mean anything in the long run, when the title was on the line in other matches. So you don't really want to weaken it. You don't want to make Ambrose look like he's a weak champion. If he's not number one, then he's got to be number two, but I wouldn't even expect it to be there. The roster is loaded up with people right now. I mean, honestly, if I'm number one and I'm picking somebody to be the man of my show, easily in my mind, I pick AJ Styles. I don't think that AJ is going to be the number one pick. I think that it's going to be either Cena or Roman Reigns. I think that if you make it Cena, you don't really have to have a friendship between Stephanie and John Cena. You just have to have Stephanie say that it's best for business, and that's the direction that she's going. Cena being the biggest name in professional wrestling, with him, being the champion so many times, as well as hosting the ESPYs. It's an easy pick to go with number one, and then you go with the storyline of Stephanie versus Cena on the show, with her trying to break him down and become a puppet to the authority. Maybe something like that. From there, number one, you take, probably Seth Rollins would be an easy number two. That guy's got a huge future ahead of him. I don't know how you pick Roman Reigns and try and put him over as being one of the top guys when he's suspended with a drug stipulation, and you've brought it up on the main show, not as well as like the hardcore fans like you and me who listen to The Observer and read The Observer, who know about these things, as well as they posted it on their website that he got busted, and it is what it is. So how do you really reward the guy? As far as there, I don't really know where guys are going to end up. It'll be what it's going to be, and we'll see where they go from there. Hopefully they got a plan. I know they have the championship on the line in a big match, Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins. I don't think the title is going to change hands. I don't think the Roman Reigns is going to break his suspension and make a return. I think that you're just going to have Ambrose beat Rollins one way or another, which is going to look weak as it is, because Ambrose is a weak champion. He's going to be a weak champion. Rollins, I think he's one of the best wrestlers there is. I know that I said I'd take AJ first, but Rollins easily is my number two. It's funny how I hated this guy when he was champion for so long, because of the fact he won all his matches via DQ or outside interference. But I don't know. Once he was gone, I really realized that that guy was pretty damn good. And I mean, of all the things that I want to keep from my wrestling collection, the Seth Rollins WrestleMania 31 plaque is one of the things that I want to hold on to. So we'll see where we go from there. It's going to be a good show. I think that honestly, with all of the draft picks that'll be randomized throughout the show, I think it'll be able to hold your attention, and we'll see where we go from there. So peace out, everybody.